Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dingle. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
You know, Jason, we're on spring break here at the University of Rio Grande, and didn't I see you in your Hawaiian shirt earlier this morning?
I've been Hawaiian dreaming for quite some time, yes. The unfortunate fact is that on Monday I was in my office, and on Tuesday I was in my office, and I've been in there since early this morning.
And will you have any kind of spring break, or are you waiting till the summer? You're waiting till the summer.
What am I doing this summer? I'll be teaching classes.
Yeah, probably teaching classes, etc. It's good having you back. We've had quite a winter.
That's right. I wasn't here last week, was I?
And you were
snowed in.
Snowed in.
And flooded in.
And it seems like the last 2 weeks now, it's 70 degrees out, and we're really enjoying a really nice weather period.
It's just nice to see the sun back.
Yes, yes. Well, it's good having you back. As a matter of fact, we have two very special guests today. One person is Jennifer Walker. She's the Associate Director of the Gallia County Chamber of Commerce. And then we have the Executive Director.
Boy, that's hard to say, isn't it?
Don't have me say it more than 3 times.
Given Michelle's history around here, that's really hard to say.
Now.
The Executive Director of the Gallia County Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For having us and picking on you.
Well, yeah. Jennifer has already slipped $5 to each Jason and I that you got to be picked on.
Jason doesn't need a bribe, so
No,
neither
absolutely.
do you. So.
No, it's good having you here. As a matter of fact, Michelle, you've had the opportunity to come to some of the classes and share a little bit of knowledge about the going on with the chamber and how important it is. And Jennifer doesn't know that we're going to be roping her into coming to some of the classes.
Talking to the students.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Michelle, why don't you open up by telling our viewing audience what the chamber is all about in Gallia County? Because we got a pretty active chamber here in Gallia County, and they do a lot of things in the community. So why don't you share with us what's going on at the chamber?
Well, we do. We try to stay active in different aspects of business throughout all of Gallia County. A lot of people think it's the Gallia Police Chamber. At one time it was, but it is the Gallia County Chamber. So we do a lot of different trainings for our local business members, but it's really hard to say exactly what the chamber does because the chamber is actually the membership. So our staff, we do different things throughout the day depending on what that business needs, because one business's needs are going to be totally different than another business's needs. So we have marketing sometimes that we help businesses with. Sometimes it's contacting state and federal officials on behalf of our members. Other times it's developing programs that would be beneficial. So it's really just hard to pinpoint the specific thing, but basically we help business.
And sometimes the chamber does things you don't even know you're doing. Like there's a job fair going on, and the news
I
said
didn't even
it
know
was
that
your
we were
event.
doing it. Yeah, so that does happen. We don't schedule things in the park. That's one thing that everybody thinks that we do. We're not responsible for the city park. So.
But you're also not a telephone directory, right?
Well, we are a telephone directory too.
well, as a matter of fact, when people do call in to chambers if they're brand new, what's the first thing that they do is they call the chamber to find out who might be able to do some plumbing or do a particular service.
Tell them to call Pat Dingle, right?
That's what I do.
Or
Plumbing extraordinaire.
right. Yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, it's fine. We get a lot of phone calls for referrals for business members. So
I received a phone call from Knoxville, Tennessee yesterday asking me how to pronounce our county, and her guess was Gallia or Gallia. And I corrected her. I said, well, actually, it's Gallia. And she said, well, that can't be. It has 2 L's. And I said, it can be. It's pronounced Gallia. So that was an interesting phone call.
yeah,
But you know, just like what you're saying, Jennifer, you get phone calls from all over the United States. Individuals looking to see what kind of community for tourism or for coming to live.
We had a city councilman from Kentucky call, 2 weeks ago? And he had driven through Gallipolis and seen our hanging baskets. So he called wanting to know how to find out how to replicate that in their town because they love the look of it so much. So you never know.
it's all kinds of different
Never know.
So Jennifer, how long have you been with the chamber now?
Oh, 2 months? Just barely
Just a
2
newbie.
months. So I'm very, very wet behind the ears. So
So you're a newbie.
I'm a newbie.
And
yes.
what was your experience before coming to the chamber?
Well, prior to, I grew up here in Gallipolis, Gallia County, and left the area for a decade and a half or so. Prior to coming back here, I was the National Sales and Marketing Director for an aviation company. And then when I relocated here, I actually accepted a position as a Director of Marketing at Gallipolis Career College, who is a chamber member of ours. And then this position became available, and it just seemed like the perfect fit for me. So the chamber really ran me through the ringer, and after a very long and specific interviewing process, I was offered the job, and I'm thrilled to be here. So I love it.
Well, very good, very good. And I know, Michelle, you've had a lot of experience involved with business. Well, care to share a little bit about what you've been up to and prior to coming? Yeah.
I owned a video store, too, actually, for a while. And then, but just prior to taking the position at the chamber, I had the Gallia Hometown Herald, which was an online news site. So I ran that for just at 2 years before taking this position. So it was a very busy time.
Well, I would imagine so. You know, running a internet newspaper is not an easy task.
No, but I loved every minute of it. It definitely kept me hopping, that is for sure. But I was very proud of it when I was finished with it.
I understand. And as director and associate director, being involved with the Chamber of Commerce, why should people join the chamber? Whether it's in Gallia County or whether it's in Lawrence County, or why should a small business join a chamber?
Chamber is a great way to meet other members of the business community. Like I said before, the chamber is actually the membership. You know, we're the chamber staff. The Chamber of Commerce is it's actually the businesses that belong. And there's, like with anything, the more people you have involved, the bigger your voice. So a lot of times that membership can do a lot for an area. You know, what is it? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. When you're talking about state and federal regulations that could affect our business community. Plus, a lot of times the same type of businesses have the same problems. So getting together with your fellow members and your fellow business owners, you may be able to develop something that will benefit everybody. And we also have other things that are more geared toward benefiting the individual business, like discount programs for workers' comp, health care. So it really just depends on what your business needs. Chambers a lot of times try to very much look at the single business and say, okay, what are your needs? What are you having trouble with? Are you having trouble with getting the word out? Are you having trouble with, and the staff then tries to develop programs that benefit them. A lot of times it's just simple time saving being a member of the chamber. Instead of spending an hour on a 1-800 number trying to get an answer, that's what the chamber staff does. You call, you say, I have this problem with a state agency, or who do I talk to? We have a wide range of contacts that we can give out either to the business, or we can contact those people and say, hey, call this business, they're having a problem. So, a lot of that goes into to your membership.
Yeah, and that's very, very true.
But then the community also benefits greatly from the chamber activities. Why don't you tell us some of the things that we're doing in the community? I know we have the festival every summer.
Yes, River Rec Festival. We've been planning on it for a year, but we're really starting to hone in on it this year. It's the 2nd through the 4th, July 2nd through the 4th. And we also have a legislative event coming up, first Friday in May. That we try to bring in elected officials from the local, state, federal levels to talk to the general public about what's going on in their office. And there's a question and answer. So if people have questions they've been wanting answered, that's a good time to do it. So those are two of the big things that we have coming up. We're also getting ready to launch Shop Chamber program, and that's been something we've been working on for about 6 months. It's a discount program which Jennifer created the logo and the card. I mean, that was one of the first things she did when she came in, jumped on it, and it looks really great. And the whole point of that, chamber members give some kind of discount, doesn't matter what it is, and we're going to hand out all these cards.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
So
I think I have, I brought in a copy of the card so that people can see once they start coming out.
So is it a fundraising situation, or it's just...
Just to promote.
It's just to promote local business, and to maybe, and to assist our shoppers, our local shoppers, give them a little incentive discount.
Okay.
The businesses will be able to change it every month, so they can offer a free drink, or
Is this
something off.
on the screen
that's
that we're looking?
right there.
And you did this, Jennifer?
I did, yes.
Well, that's fantastic. That is nice.
Yeah, she came in and launched right into it. Of course, Abby Shire stepped up as our sponsor for the card, the cost of the card, and that way we can just give these out for free. So we're just handing them out to the general public. Only thing chamber members have to do is offer some kind of discount. Doesn't matter what it is. It'll all be run through our website, and just trying to get traffic into our local businesses.
Sure.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah.
so we're hoping to launch, we're waiting on the printing, and we're hoping to launch it sometime next month.
So maybe part of your goat farms, customers will.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, if he joins the chamber.
I'm a member through Rio.
Yes, he is.
Yes, but I was thinking, you could give a discount if you wanted to sell one of your goats. Or
Everybody stare at me. But yeah.
actually,
so
what
there's a
he's
few
done is he's named all of his goats, and they've all become.
They're my
part of-
kids. Is that what you're saying?
kids,
They're my
yes.
kids?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jennifer and Michelle, you brought some other things for us to take a look at. May we, Luke?
What do you want to see?
We'll start at the beginning.
Well, that's one of the shots from our River Recreation Festival Independence Day Parade. Which
Now, you call that River Rec.
we call it River Rec. It's actually River Recreation Festival. As with everything else, it gets shortened down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say, but it is the River Recreation Festival, and that was one of the pictures from our parade, which is the 4th this year. The 4th falls on Saturday, so the 4th and the parade and fireworks will be on the same day this year. So
I noticed that they have live music.
we do have live music.
Because Jason is an excellent singer, so if you ever need
So we can
someone to
expect
come-
him behind
Yes,
the mic.
Yes.
So
That
we
would
have
be
the
great.
Queen's pageant, or Queen, and a lot of also the area Queen candidates from all over the place actually come and participate in the parade. But this past year, I think there were 100 units in the parade. It was a really big parade this past year. That's our Little Miss and Mr. Firecracker contest, and it's so cute. They either sing a song or play an instrument. They get up and answer questions, and it's really, really cute to watch them. And of course, that'll be coming back this year.
So you have both boys and girls.
Yes, for the firecracker. Huh. Now this is our Meet Your Legislators. It's Friday, May 1st, 10 a.m. at Holzer. It is open to the public. Right now, we sent the invitations out to the elected officials. So far, we've only heard back from Senator Peterson, but he is coming. But it'll kind of trickle in over the next few weeks as to who will be there to speak. Usually, it's our local, state representatives, and then our aides from the federal level. Sometimes they're able to be in, but it really just depends on the session that they're in at the time. So it's really good. They get up, they talk for 5 minutes each, and then the crowd then has a chance to answer or ask questions directly.
Recently we had I think the auditor, the state auditor, come down for sort of a fact finding, and it was nice that there were. I think it was about a year and a half ago, and what is nice is with the Chamber of Commerce, you're able to invite the business community or the organizational community to meet and discuss. One thing that I found rather interesting was that he was willing to, through his aides, write down specific questions.
Yes.
And
they are very good about, even if they cannot be there, the aides are very good about, a lot of times they can answer it right then. But if not, they're really good about taking the questions and going back and finding out the answers. A lot of times people don't realize how much that affects local economy and local business, and it's really important to pay attention to what's going on at the state and federal level. Some of the smallest things can affect in ways that you didn't expect. So having that open dialogue with those representatives or the senators or whoever, they need that feedback too. So they need to know what we really think.
Yeah, well, especially on the public side, you've got a lot of governmental funding that's coming down to support these programs, and when there's budget cuts going on, a lot of these programs are affected.
And you have to let them know how important it is. We're a very vast county. It's all spread out, so it's very important to have all the voices together. And I think not just locally, but regionally. So.
And the interesting thing is you have a wide variety of different kinds of businesses. Ranging from those professional to service to retail to manufacturing, and I think that's important when it comes down to having a good chamber, because when you have an outing, you have a mixture of the people that share new and interesting ideas or expand certain kinds of things.
Michelle recently came up with a great idea for advisory councils. And tell them about that. I think that's really neat.
We launched advisory councils broken up into several different service provider type businesses, and we might break them up more later, but just to get started, agriculture was one, retail, education, nonprofit, and then service-based businesses, whether it's insurance or real estate. And the point of those committees, which we're just now getting in them scheduled and off the ground, like I said before, is to get the members talking to each other and get them talking to us to find out, we can come up with some of the, we can come up with 100 ideas, but whether or not they're actually beneficial to our businesses, we need to know that. So, because every business is different, and they may look at it and go, well, that's great and all, but that's going to add this much work to us that we didn't think about. So those advisory councils, it's not only about helping their particular type of business, but it's also helping the business community as a whole.
Yes.
So, and that's one of my biggest things is, the more business we have, the stronger the business we have, the more people we have coming here. So, I'm all about everybody working together, build it up, and get people here. People don't go to the mall just because there's one dress shop and there's one, they go because there's all of these choices and everybody benefits. So that's one of my goals, is to simply listen to the businesses and say, what do you need? And what can we do to help? And what can you do to help yourselves, each other? So we're just getting that started.
Oh, I think that's great. I'm going to put you on what is it? Yeah, they're
Ribbon cuttings. This is some of the
Luke
stuff.
and Mike.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
This is at the Riverby Theater Guild. They had just opened their new studio space, so we had a ribbon cutting there. That was on the same night as 12 Angry Jurors was opening, which is a play that Michelle directed. It was brilliant.
You directed that? Wow, that's
Yes.
fantastic.
She did.
She was in it.
And I was in it. I was juror number 2. And let's see, this is at the Artisan Shop. We've got Valerie there, and
Yeah, Valerie and Kelsey, are co-hosts with Mike on the exposition.
Yeah, they're members too, and that's a great little. The shop and the market, and they're really trying to do a lot to change the scope of what's offered downtown.
Yeah.
And I just think it's great, and they're very passionate about it.
oh, there's Kyger Creek. They were our business of the month, which is something every month we randomly draw a business, and then we just kind of spotlight them and promote them and tell the community a little bit about what they do, and just kind of highlight what they do for our area.
And that is the power plant that was originally built to supply the enrichment plant, from what I understand.
And they were our business for March, and in February we had Shanaco. So
Shanaco?
Shanaco.
Hey, what does Shanaco do?
Their accounting.
Accounting?
It was formerly Chapman and Burris, and then Shana Chapman now is running the business, and it's Shanaco.
Huh.
So
Very good. Very good.
that's all the picture.
That's all the different burgers.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Jennifer,
We just grabbed some that we thought,
Yeah.
kind of across the scope.
Highlight reel.
Yeah, highlight reel.
Highlight reel.
Jennifer, I'm going to put you on the spotlight for a minute.
Oh no.
Because you have, you've only been with the chamber for 2 months, and most individuals do not get to see the inside operations. What has impressed you the most about the Gallia? What things have impressed you about the chamber?
Well, I grew up here, and I lived here until I was 22, 23 years old when I moved away. And many people do move away and they never return. But I love Gallia County. I wanted to come back. But one of the drawbacks always, I guess, in people's minds were, what am I going to do? There's nothing to do. Where am I going to work? So I think the neatest thing for me as someone who grew up here to come back is see the new growth, see the new things that are happening. And this one here, she's full of great ideas and energy, and I just hang on for dear life some days. When she's in, we call it Michelle mode, when she's in Michelle mode, so, I'm learning as we go, but it's really cool for me to come back and see the new things that are already in place and new things that are, on the back burner, things that are forthcoming. I like being a part of that, and I think what attracted me to this position was being able to be a part of that change. And I have a 12-year-old son, and hopefully he'll want to live here and make his life here. So, building a better future for him as well here. So I love it. I've been here, 2.5 months, and, I hope to make a career of this and this be, where I stay for a very long period of time. So.
Yeah, she was thrown in right before annual dinner, so I'm glad.
Literally,
that,
3
like
days.
3 days before our annual meeting and dinner.
Of course, when you had her, when you were interviewing, you sort of downplayed all the work behind.
Not
the
really.
scenes.
No, they were very honest, and I keep hearing River Rec stories said that should be fun. Everyone says you need to do one time at River Rec to really be seasoned and into the jobs.
That's
So
when they
I-
take you out to the end of the dock and they just throw you
That's
in.
my hazing
Yeah,
period.
good luck.
The sink or swim.
That's my hazing period, so I'm prepared for it. But when I started, it was the week of annual dinner, and of course, she's been doing a phenomenal job doing it all. I mean, I think there are some days I have to be like, "Psst, hey, I'm here. Give me some things to do," because she's such a hard worker. But the week of annual dinner, I didn't really know what to do, so I just jumped in and started making PowerPoint slides.
Yeah.
I thought, well, let me find
Which
things
is
that
great.
I
You
know how
know,
to
I'm like,
do.
sure, go ahead.
So, but it worked out, and I'm really happy.
Yeah,
and-
she's doing a great job. I mean,
Why don't you throw out another shout to someone else in your office that's kind of important?
Marianne Campbell, we love
Marianne.
Campbell. Marianne is absolutely one of the most amazing women I've ever met. You know, the things that she does is just the things she's done. I like to sit down and get her talking. Like, you know, because she won't talk about herself, and then
I know,
you
I
know,
know.
she's always been very good about building everybody else up, and she won't talk about herself. So I like, we have those moments where she'll start talking and then just don't speak. You know, just sit down and wait.
Well, we tell
Yeah.
her we're going to write her memoirs. We've told her that a couple times.
But she's with us all the time, you know, through, and I can't tell you the number of times a day I go, Marianne, you know, is this right? Is this how I do it? Is this, you know, I've learned.
If it passes the Marianne test, it passes.
It's good. So, but we call her, you know, jokingly call her a resident de-witcher and de-thatter. You know, she de-witches and de-thats our papers.
And
stuff
Oxford
like
comma.
that.
She's not about the Oxford
Yeah.
comma.
So, but no, she's absolutely amazing, and we're blessed to have her, you know, there. I mean, she's there every day. Shoot, sometimes she's there before we get there and gone after we are still there when we leave. So, but the number of things that she does, I mean, her radio program, and, you know, she's French Art Colony, and she's just walking.
Triple
wealth of
A.
knowledge. Triple A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk of the town on
Yeah.
Sunny 93. Just out of curiosity, if someone in the listening audience wants to find out more about Gallia County, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call us at 740-446
740-446
0596
0596
or GalliaCounty.org.
or GalliaCounty.org.
Org. Yes,
Org. Oh, very good. Very good. We have about one more minute, and we had a whole list of things we were going to talk about. And
did.
you were gonna share with your amusing stories, but you're gonna have to come back.
Well, we're out of
Cut,
time.
cut.
Yeah.
Darn.
You know, with all the different amusing stories. But anything important that the listening audience needs to be aware of, or you'd like to
I just
to
get
emphasize?
involved. Everybody has something to contribute. Even if they don't have the time, there's something that they can do. And everybody has, you don't have to be involved in everything. Just get involved in something. And I always go back to it, but it's a big thing. Gallup Police and Lights was a grassroots, we want to see better lights, and now it's this huge thing. And it was just people who said, we want to see better lights. And they didn't wait around for somebody else to do it. So the better we make our community, the more attractive we would be to bigger business and bigger industry. So just get involved and support. Even if you can't get involved, support it. Don't tear it down, you know, before it even gets started. That's my only thing.
And Jennifer, any last words?
Well, I agree with Michelle. Even if it's just one small thing that you can do to get involved and be part of your
That is
community,
true.
do it.
That
Even
is
the
true.
smallest thing, making phone calls. I mean, anything.
Yeah.
It can be from as small or as big as you want your involvement to be.
Well,
Definitely.
Jennifer, Michelle, we want to thank you very much for joining us today on
Business talk.
Business Talk.
Yeah.
Our show, yeah. Even though it is spring break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we
So,
appreciate it.
Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us today. Patrick, what do we have coming up next week?
Well, not only do we have next week, but at 2 o'clock we have a special show, Dr. Laura 2. You've heard on radio Dr. Laura, the one that gives the personal advice, etc. She's not the right Dr. Laura. but she's
Oh
an
no,
awkward-
she's the right Dr. Laura.
Yeah, she's the right.
She's just
Dr.
not
Laura.
the same Dr. Laura.
With Agri Talk with Dwayne Rigsby and Mike Thompson, they're going to talk a little bit about their aquaculture boot camp. And then at 3 o'clock, we have Dr. Tom Worley, who's going to be speaking about the Ohio State University South Centers. Next week, we have Michelle Miller, who's with the Gallia Economic Development, as well as some interesting guests.
You mean Melissa?
Did I say Michelle?
You
Yeah,
did.
you did.
But
But
that's
that's all
okay.
right.
I'm
They
really
do like you here. They
But
want you
again,
back
it's,
next
told
week.
it's spring break.
Well, I was like, I'm not coming back next week.
Michelle.
Melissa.
Yeah,
Clark.
Melissa Clark.
Melissa Clark. Thank you both for
Thank
coming.
you very
Thanks for
much for
having
having us.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I'm Patrick.
I'm Jason.
Oh, I'm Michelle.
I'm Jennifer.
Thank you for listening.